right, we are set up. There's the town hall. And our friends made it. We're going to have a good time today. I know it's dark, but the sun will be peeking up over the horizon there in probably about 20 more minutes and burn some of this dew off. Ah! I know it's dark, but this is how far our stuff goes. Maybe I'll wait till the sun comes up to do this. Well, here we are set up. We've already made $300 and it's not even a half a day over yet. But would you believe we had something stolen and we know who did it? I'm just baffled. That I was interrupted. Yeah, we had a group of free shit army people come by. We know where they live. They live in the government housing down the road. Came by and picked up a box of DVDs. I only wanted $10 for 20 DVDs, and they took the box and left. Didn't pay us. Yeah, that's a first. I'm baffled. Here's my wife selling a quilt. She's done real well with her quilts. I'm gonna lock her in her sewing room. There's Sue. Sue is a pale skin. She gets burnt up real easy. Alright, it's Sunday, the day after the big 50-mile long multi-town yard sale. It's called Main to Main. Just wanted to tell you a few things about this yesterday. At one of the guys set up next to me for $10. Never been used. And it's made by Blitz, the company that was lawsuited out of business thanks to the society we live in today, this litigious one call, that's all, you'll get your check society we live in. Blitz, been in business a long time, kept a lot of people employed, no longer in business. But that's what this is. It's a Blitz fuel and tool mate. The upper portion is a 1.5 gallon gas can, and the bottom portion is just a place to put your tools. And the nozzle. Never been used. The manufacturing date on this was 1984. And I looked on eBay just to see, actually what I looked on eBay for was this gasket up here was dry rotted, and when I opened this up it just fell apart. And I was trying to see if anybody had, gaskets. But turns out I had an O-ring that fit just perfect. And the gasket on the spout is in good shape. I guess because it's been in here. I don't know. So, just to show you an interesting little thing. Oh, I never did tell you. $139 was the current bid for this on eBay. I'm not going to sell this. I mean, I bought it for $10. It's worth $10 to me. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for my weed eaters and chainsaw. And what I thought I would do is keep my sharpening tools in the bottom, and the wrenches that you use to adjust your chainsaw blades, and a little bit of oil. It just keeps it all together nice and handy. So when you go cut a tree down, you got to grab two things: this here and your chainsaw, instead of carrying a whole bunch of other stuff with you. But the yard sale, let me give you something beautiful to look at here. No, not me. The yard sale was interesting. We met all kinds of people, some very memorable people. And last year, the one I remember the most was this guy that would walk down your table and pick things up that had like a 50-cent price tag on it and say, "Hey, would you take 25 cents for this?" And I would say no, because I would put 50 cents on something thinking, I just want to get rid of it, and I don't want to haggle. And 50 cents is a low enough price where anybody in their right mind would pick it up and say, 50 cents? Well, I'll take that. But this guy walked up and down the tables picking up stuff. Well, hello, help yourself. And when you wouldn't take a dime less or a nickel less, he'd throw it back down on the table and mutter something and scowl and shake his head all the way down the table. And my wife and I, we just watched this guy with interest. It was so amazing that anybody would, pick something up for 50 cents and offer you 10 cents less. Anyway, that was last year. This year, I had 3 Ruger 1022 magazines on the table that have hardly been used. They were 25 round magazines, kind of hard to find nowadays too. And I only wanted $10 a piece for them. They were Tactical Ink magazines. If you know anything about 1022 magazines, you know how much they're worth. And I only wanted $10 each, and I wanted to sell all 3 of them. And a guy come up this in the morning and wanted to offer me $10 for all of them. And I looked at him like, are you crazy, man? You don't know the value of them, or you'd just be embarrassed to offer me $10. So I said no, politely. And then he offered me 14 for all of them. And the more amazed I was getting that he kept offering me, peanuts for it, the more mad he got when I kept saying, no, I just want $10 each for them. And, it's okay if you don't want to buy them for $10 each. I mean, I could take them home and be just as happy. And he offered me, a few more times, made a couple other offers. And I said, sir, I want $10 each for them. Or $30 for all 3. How about that? Trying to make a joke, trying to laugh it off. And he got mad. He really got mad that I wouldn't take less. I was just amazed. And walked off in a huff. And then turned around and walks back and he says, okay, this is your last chance. I'll give you $25 for all 3. And I said, you know what? They're not for sale anymore. I'm going to keep them. And I picked them up and walked over to my truck and just pitched them in on the floor. I just really was starting to piss me off. And I left them in my truck all day long. And the last couple of hours of yesterday, the guy comes back with his hat in his hand, head down, all humble and apologetic, and he says, if you still got them, I'd like to give you $30 for them. And I almost said something bad, but I said, well, I still have them, and I'm going to go ahead and sell them to you, but I was just going to bring them home. You made me so damn mad. He goes, well, I went home and looked them up, and, they're worth $30. And, I just wanted to say, piss off, buddy. I'm not selling them to you. You just made me madder than $30 is worth. I sold them, and several other things happened. A lady came by with a do-rag on her head, and I could see that she had been going through chemo. She had no hair, and she was kind of skinny, and her clothes were fitting her really baggy, so I knew she had lost weight. And if it's somebody you don't know, what can you say? I wanted to, the inside bride wanted to go up and put my arms around her and stand there and pray. But I was just struggling with what to say to encourage her or to offer prayer for her. And she walked up to the table and she said, how much are these hats? My wife, years ago, crocheted about 400 hats, and we brought them over to the cancer center, and they would just give them out to people that were going through chemo. She had a few left over that she wasn't 100% proud of, and she was only wanting $1 each for the hats. And I said, are you undergoing chemo? She goes, yes, I am. And I said, well, you know what? You just pick out a hat you like, and you can have it. That's what those hats are for. My wife crocheted them for cancer patients, and those are just a few she had left over. And that led into a conversation which led into some other really nice things. It was a good moment. Anyway, and then we met another lady who actually sewed and crocheted and knitted things for poor folks at the charity hospital here. Baby blankets and little hats and, all kinds of stuff. And she and my wife got into a conversation because, my wife's a crocheter and a sewer and a knitter and all that. and she just gave the lady all kinds of yarn and material, and the rest of the hats that she had on the table, she gave them to her. And because she's with a church, and that's what they do, is get together and sew things and crochet. Man, this is 8 minutes long. I never talked that long. I'm really sorry. Anyway, it was a real learning experience. I got to meet a lot of really nice folks, some funny folks, some bizarre folks, and some assholes, to be blunt. But it was a couple of nice days, and made a chunk of change, and we took our friends out to eat, which we normally can't afford to do because we're living kind of tight nowadays with, well, anyway, with our situation the way it is. But good couple of days, and I've got the previous few clips. It wasn't much. I was so busy, I really didn't get to video much, but this was a nice thing, and we're going to do it every year. So thanks for watching if you're still with me.